I challenge you, the viewers. If you like pasta, if you can watch the whole, what do you guys want me to do? That would be repaying them. If more people put you can't put a dislike on this, but if you comment and you give me a logical reason why I would enjoy pasta or why you enjoy pasta, couple lines, I will do something extremely embarrassing if you want.
Cue in our sponsor.
Cue my sponsor. Sometimes, this is in programming, so we just like naturally talking. I was in yoga class actually the other day, and one of the instructors came up and she looked at my forearms, and this is a true story. She was like, "Wow, you don't have any hair. You're so smooth." And I was like, "Yeah." And she's like, "I can't believe your neck, everything is so smooth." And she's like, "I'm dating this guy, and he's just hairy all over, and it's gross." And it's like I would really be into this guy, and like he would be somebody I would look at, like really putting him on a pedestal. But it's just covered in hair. It's like it's in a drain. It's all over the place. And then I said, "Listen, sometimes you need to get right down to. Sometimes you need to go to bear. Sometimes you want to bear."
No, actually, you do not want to bear.
Sometimes,
if you're gonna bear, you want to bear.
You gotta get rid of the bear to be bear.
You gotta get rid of the bear.
Thank you.
To be the bear.
There you go.
Is that gonna be a good 30 seconds? All right, back to it. You guys remember that? Adrian, you know what I'm talking about.
Why do I have to know about it?
Because, I don't know.
It's messed up.
First black superhero. You being racist?
Do you know that the Russians...
Why would Adrian know who's the black superhero?
You always ask me these things. You always ask me minority things.
Come on, you guys are racist.
Poor kid, I'm just a poor kid from West New York.
Oh my god.
Are you guys rolling right now?
Oh yeah.
Oh, you're rolling. Okay, fantastic. What's happening, guys? Michael Andreula here with Kristen Mangione. Right? That's how I'm saying it perfect too, right?
Perfect, yeah.
Italian accent.
Yes.
Mangione. We're here talking about things. We have multiple cameras. That's the theme of the show, to keep your attention, keep you on point. But lately, I think it's better if we can actually get to a big goal. An enormous goal. I'm sorry, they're making noise back there. This is the crew, guys. Okay. An enormous goal. Something that can change the world. Even though that sounds crazy, I typed into Google today. I was like, how do I change the world? And then somebody had a course, and so I signed up. And it's like free, change the world. And then I signed up, and then it was like, okay, it's $47. So
it's $47.
That barrier was like, I'm not going to change the world. But I just finished this book. It's called The Next 100 Years. And he basically, based on if history repeats itself over and over and over and over, as it has in the past, he breaks out the military breakdowns, like how things will happen, technology will come up. The U.S. will still try to control everyone. He predicts that Turkey and Japan will form an alliance in 2050 and knock out Battlestar, which is our way of controlling everybody from the sky, because they can't get us in the sky. So our military operations will go in orbit. And I'm just like, what are we doing? Are we going to spend 100 years fighting the same World War II all over again? And is there a possibility that, and it's such a big goal, but can you change people's consciousness, the way they think? I mean, you are an open person, right? You're open to all. How did that happen? Was that a natural process?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you know, I think it's a really important question that you ask about. First of all, I think it's a process, not only on the individual level, but also on societal level. And I mean, for me personally, you know, I can for sure say that it was a process. You know, I came in from one perspective. I was introduced to healing energy work, the concept of that there even was such a thing, energy work. I was an artist looking for a better day job, and a fellow dancer was practicing this healing art called shiatsu. And I was pretty much living what most people would consider a normal life. I had a lot of goals and ambitions. I also had a lot of frustrations. I had an office job, and then there was this whole other world of consciousness raising activities like healing work that existed. And so it was that one introduction that sort of opened things up for me. So I think there is the possibility and the potential for all human beings to find that, but it's such an individual notion about you have to be driven there, usually by something like illness, something that forces you to make a change. And you also have to find either the right situation, the right person, the right moment who's going to kind of fill that gap. Because unfortunately, a lot of our media and the things that most of society is focusing on, I don't know that they necessarily support that. But I also see that changing.
Yeah, I was hoping. I was absolutely hoping until I finished this book that I had serious doubts because it seems as if with momentum, and Kristen, if I don't look at you directly, and this is a question to the crew as well, and we're doing this technically, I want to make sure it's pleasing, so I want to make sure you get the most of Michael Andreula. So if Kristen's talking, and Kristen, I look this way just to, keep your attention with this, don't get offended. Just letting you know, and I won't feel that way either. I'm not sure either which way. Okay, back. So how do we change the world? Is it possible? Because it's seemingly absolutely impossible. If things play out the way the government has to continuously spend money on the military and bringing, we have to control everybody. And that means sometimes we have to make other countries unstable on purpose, or we want to make that so that, other countries that might even be worse than us, probably without a doubt, they control Russia. They don't want Russia to expand. They don't want China to expand, obviously. And all that being said, I don't think the people have a real problem. Like, I feel like with the internet and all of this, and people in Japan, people in Turkey, I get so much stuff from the Netherlands, different people, Egypt. What's up?
What are we talking about?
Adrian, was I off topic there? Bad?
I zoned out.
I did too.
That's it. All right, I'm putting you into hypnosis.
Okay. I'm like, wait, how are we talking about Turkey and...
We got to go deep, guys. We got to go deep. Plus, I'm trying to pull in our international audience, okay? Because they're going to see this in the Ukraine. They're going to say, well, we're protesting right now. We have 1 million people protesting. Let's see what Michael Andreula is talking about. Log in, maybe buy a DVD, get the stress out. Boom. I just made a sale. No. If you really think about it, people that are, this is the international audience, guys. That's who we're talking about. Bringing people together. South America, Colombia. What do you think, Adrian?
You said Colombia, so that works for me. Thank you.
Okay, we'll translate. Anyway, if that's too off topic, let me wrap this up with a nice bow. Okay, Kristen. What are we going to do right now to either, the only thing I can think of is a workout, or, I know it sounds stupid, but if you can give them all, without creating a cult religion, you can give them all a daily, let's be nice, let's not build drones that are going to hit people, like that make kickboxing videos and then use Ja Rule's remix, and they're mad at me now on YouTube. I'm saying, how do we make it so it's free, the internet's free, we're all having a good time, Garden of Eden style, with great Wi-Fi?
I think there's a lot of different possibilities and answers to that, but I think something
got
is
5 minutes.
simple. Okay, actually, I can answer that in less than 5 minutes.
World peace in 5 minutes.
It's I always think about the ripple effect,
Okay.
which is basically that if one person or even just a small group of people start something really simple, like, for example, do an act of kindness and put it on Facebook, what you did. Yeah. And then, encourage, okay, if you're inspired by this, share it and do something and create, like, basically a virtual chain and put it in community so that people become accountable and they're proud of their accomplishments, not based on, like, how much money they're making. Well, not that that's, don't get me wrong, making money, there's nothing wrong with that. But, like, you know what I mean? Like, that there's a value and a shared pride and responsibility about something that makes a difference for people in the world. And it could be something really simple.
There was one that was super cool. It was Israelis love Palestinians and Palestinians love Israelis. Did you see that? That was cool.
Yeah.
That's a great idea, actually. Yeah, spread. You gotta pay it forward. Like, the other day I helped parallel park this woman's car.
Yes.
But then what happened? My car got towed by the Hoboken Park Authority. So, like, I'm trying to create the positive spiral, and the negative spiral gets ratcheted up. So that's definitely a possibility. I think we should employ that technique.
Yeah.
Sorry. Oh, Jack. But, or I thought that we have to make an alliance and make so much money as this alliance. Like, we have to make billions and billions and billions of dollars. Honestly, we figure out a way. We come up with like P90X, better than Insanity, Anthony Robbins product. We sell it to everybody. Obviously, I'm joking about that, Kristen. If you have so much resources to the right people, then because the politicians will be influenced by the most wealthy.
Yeah.
So we need to do that and then make it the main priority to make human life as happy and fun as possible. Happy and fun, Kristen.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, both ways seem completely impossible, but we've been to Costa Rica. So at least if all goes to hell, we can make a little
Yeah.
haven there.
Yeah. But I also, I mean, I have to believe that what you just said about happy and fun, I think human beings at their core, given a real choice and being really truthful about it, that's pretty much what anybody wants. You know, if they're really honest about it.
Doesn't seem like we're producing it.
Well, but here's why I assert that, because I think that's really where choice comes into the matter, and it has a lot to do with like what are we spending our time focusing on and talking about.
Why can't I do it all the time, Kristen? I like to slip in where I'm super feeling good, and then I'm just not. I feel like crap.
Yeah.
Fix me. I mean, what's wrong with me?
There's nothing
Why
wrong
do I
with
feel
that.
like crap some days?
Yeah. Well, that's just the nature of being a human being. Yeah. But
Wouldn't I be better if I was a dog? My dog, he doesn't. He's just unbelievably happy. That's the best quote I heard from Eckhart Tolle. I'm sure it was somebody who's like, "Please make me the man my dog thinks I am."
it's great.
He's like, he looks at me. He's
That's
like, "Is that LeBron James?" I said, "Usher," because that guy's awesome. Oh, by the way, breaking news, guys. Everything I know, this was a serious concern. I'm sorry to take it to a more serious note, but Justin Bieber was acquitted. Okay, he wasn't drunk. He wasn't on any drugs in Florida.
Okay.
Back to some lighter topics. So,
Thanks, Mike. Thanks.
hashtag free Bieber. I was trying to push it online. It was weighing on my mind. I didn't know. And a lot of people you don't understand because you hate on him because, you know, you just think he's just out there spending money driving Lamborghinis, but it's hard. No, it's not.
It's a struggle.
It's a struggle. I mean, you think it's easy to get Voss water delivered to you first thing in the morning and somebody dribble it into your mouth like I'm Justin Bieber, I'm thirsty. Give me the Voss distilled with alkalining and antioxidants and some psyllium husk. Okay, what was that? Your phone, Adrian?
Not mine, brother.
From here.
Christy?
Not mine.
I think I touched the mouse.
Oh, no problem. Are we still recording?
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So back to me. I need to be a human, right? How do I shorten the spurts of not feeling fulfilled, or is that necessary to propel massive change?
That's necessary to propel massive change.
Because when I'm happy, I don't produce that much.
Really?
Not as much as when I'm not. When I'm on a tear.
So, okay, interesting. So say more about that. So
When I'm on a tear, I'll tear the internet apart. I'll hire all types of maniacs from like freelance groups to like do all crazy ideas that I have. When I'm feeling like that, and if I'm happier, maybe I'm just relaxing, having a cup of coffee. I guess the key is marry both of them. That's why this is such a big opportunity. If Christy and Adrian stop giving me the middle finger during. Guys, this is a production. This is a real thing. Okay. I'll write that in. So what I'm saying is, when you're in class, Kristen, you're smiling, and it can't all be like 100% natural. You must have to make that decision every time, all the time.
Yeah.
Decide to be happy every single time. That is hard. That's why I look up to you.
Thank you for that, first of all.
Wow.
And it's also, you know, when it's like building a muscle, because this is actually, I mean, I know we're somewhat kidding about this, but I think it's really important about, and it's a lot of why I do what I do, which is, with healing work and meditation work and supporting people in sorting through the really tough stuff, because that is a catalyst for change. But I mention that because it's, we can train ourselves. We can train, and you
Sure.
always say this in the way that you lead classes, that, it's a choice. You can choose about what you're focusing on mentally, and if you're choosing to listen to constantly, the stuff about I'm miserable, I don't have enough energy, I'm tired. And it's not to say that if that comes up that you discount it, but can you be with it? And then can you also notice that you can also just look at those thoughts and go, they're just thoughts. And if I do choose to think about something else that really excites me, a big goal, for example. Yes. And that's honestly, that's a lot of, it's a practice over how many, 2.5 years already of just constantly that thing that makes me smile, and I know what, it's totally worth it. And it's like magic. It's completely physiological. It's just, it's neuroscience, brain-body connection. And the more I do it, the easier it is. And it's not to say that I don't have crappy days.
No, yeah, of course.
We all do.
Even in class. And that's fascinating what you just said, because I do think like that a lot. And if I could, I don't know if I have my Bible, and I was just going to read a line out of it.
Mm-hmm.
But the ancestor of every action is a thought. Oh, come on, guys. Come on. That's hilarious. What's wrong with you? I'm not laughing at that. My father's going to be so mad.
Hey.
What could I say? Jordan, that's why we need Jordan for something to break this up. Because Jordan there's no way Jordan could listen to that without making Family Guy noises or doing impressions of my brother or my father. I'm like, Jordan, do an impression of my brother, Tim. He's like, hey. Okay, Joe. Do impression of Joe. Hey. What about my father? Hey. And then, what about my brother Vinny? Oh, I don't know him. I couldn't do it. He was dead serious.
I've never met him.
I've never met him. I can't do it. Okay, Jordan. I'm sorry. I didn't know you broke down a profile of their exact mannerisms. Hey. So back on topic, physiology, neuroscience, drive yourself to it. I mean, it's the toughest thing about class all the time, because if I don't feel good, or I'm so inconsistent, and for me, sometimes that makes the best classes, because I'm somewhat out of my mind during classes. So I try to use whatever I'm feeling in the class to be in the moment, but that doesn't produce consistency. But how could I possibly, as a human? Because I look at the P90X guy, I look at Jillian Michaels, I look at and I look at them and I try to break it apart and say, could they be this happy and thumbs up every day? He's teaching 4 classes a day. He's doing a P90X thing after every 10 seconds. He's like, all right, bro, you just did 5 curls. We got to exit, man. So it seems like for their perceptive, they must think I'm crap, because they're like, this guy's not doing the X thing. He's not coming up with catchphrases. But how do you use it in class? Because you teach class as well. And you teach a variety of classes, right?
I do. Yeah.
So you have that person. Does it feel like they're more accepting? I'm going to indulge. I'm sorry. I'm going to indulge because these two are like, oh, what are you talking about, class? This is geek trainer stuff. But still, like, people that are in Peru would probably still enjoy this, or possibly in British Columbia. Just putting it out there. So geek trainer stuff. And you can apply this to any situation when
Absolutely.
you're dealing with people.
Yeah. I mean, you say trainers, it can be somebody who leads corporate trainings, who works in business or something. For me, it's a lot about, there's 2 things. One, it's about getting really clear sense of exactly like you said, I'm a human being, so I'm not always going to be on. I'm not always going to feel great. I'm going to take whatever's going on in my life is going to come with me when I step into the studio to lead a class. So it's just noticing and first being aware of what's there, regardless of whether it feels like it's supportive or it's not, so that I don't feel like I have to repress it. I can just let it be for a couple seconds. And then with that, get out of my own head and just really be with the people who are there in the class. And the same exact thing for them. Like, do they look like they're engaged? Do they look like they're angry? Does it look like they're really enthusiastic? And then really just notice that. Because as an instructor, because the more aware you are, then you can, those little subtle ways that you can shift your leading. Like if it feels like, okay, they're not really with me, I have to pull them in a little bit more. Or if they're so right there, then I can just ride it like a wave. It's like this beautiful marriage between where they are and where you are. And then it just becomes this kind of seamless dance.
Yeah, I can really relate to that because on Wednesday I was like, I saw this guy and I was breaking down his body language, how he's feeling. I'm so sympathetic. I can feel how people are feeling, and like I was motivating him, and I really could see that as he was texting through my whole entire class, that after I motivated him, he must have been texting like so positive energy. I hope you guys are having a great day. This dude has written more dialogue than Stephen King in the stand in my class. I can't wait until he's like, goes on Today's Show. I've written this in kickboxing class over the last 10 years. Okay, he'll be in there every time. But no, I hear what you're saying. That the people that are into it, I feel like my environment is hostile, and that I have to attack them. And I've been proven to be true. Even Christy or Adrian comes in. They're not going to be like, oh, Mike, let's just do class. They're like, how can I mess with Mike? How can I throw him off his game? So people help me out, and that gives me fire. Like somebody will come up to me before in class, 1 minute before, and they'll say, Mike, can you play better music? Because your music sucks. Then they walk away. Or they'll say the new rack system. I hate that. And then they walk away. So I'm like, I'm just about to start, or it's hot in here. Got the fans on. Back to me, guys. I'm sorry. Multiple cameras again. Keep that in mind as we're talking through this. And not to discount that at all, Chris. Chris and I just made sure I keep their attention.
Of course.
Yeah, you have to tune in. You have to be sensitive to the moment because you can tell what they're thinking before. They don't realize that, but just based on body language, especially when you're hitting, you know exactly. There's no mystery at all. If I call a drill out and you do, it's pretty hard for me not to recognize that you're frustrated with me or frustrated with the workout, and I'm also sympathetic to that as well. Okay, Kristen, back to changing the world.
Well,
what are we going to do?
What about in Kristen's class? Do you get that with your type of class, or maybe it's because Mike's doing a angry class?
Yeah.
And you're doing maybe
it is different.
People?
It is different.
Because do you deal with that? Probably not as much.
Not
right?
as much. I mean there is certainly a self-selective process. The people who are coming to a meditation class or a dance class or floor bar or something, I mean they're completely self-selecting already. That's a very different notion than like I'm going to work out, in this case kickboxing. But then with that, I mean I have certainly had experiences with students who I would say are more challenged by that's okay, what's coming up in the class. They just it's more challenging or confronting for them to really stay with the exercises. Meditation and especially.
That's as the instructor, you gotta know when to push and when to pull back.
Exactly.
And new instructors, it's tough for them because they take it personally. I mean, it sounds like I'm taking it personally. 99%, I never am really being personal, attacking them. I'm just using it for fun. It takes attention off. But in kickboxing, if their hand drops, there's a period of time, I'm sure at every sport, the body needs time to adapt to it. So if you do surfing, I use that example, who's going to surf? Unless you're in like an 80s movie where like you just learn to surf in 2 hours. There's nobody that's going to be just surfing all over the place and then beating like the top surfer. I mean, that's what we've been raised on. Zach Morris cause all the trouble and then solve it at the end. So in class, people are dropping their hands, they're tired. So you have to allow for that period of time to happen. And dance, it's got to be even more strict.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's there's a fine line as an instructor about. It's funny. I was just reading something online yesterday about this yoga teachers and the top 5 mistakes that they make, and one of them is about overcorrecting, especially beginners.
Oh yeah.
That you have to know that subtle balance between where you're being supportive and where it can become and seem overwhelming by basically overcorrecting. That you have to give people some space to and to acknowledge those. What I've noticed as an instructor is about acknowledging the little steps along the way, the little victories, because then they really feel like, oh my God, I got that. That's huge. Meanwhile, as an instructor, I know that there's like 20 other things that will make a huge difference, but it's like, so what? Like we've got, who knows how many years to get to that. And that's actually what's really cool about it, is it's like for me, that's one of the best things. It's like those moments where they get it.
Yeah.
And then it's like, my God.
That is fun.
Yeah.
You're right. I mean,
Like Nick Lancetti on Roundhouse Kids.
that's right. And you see the time that's got to be put into it. Human bodies are so adaptable. And I think the general public believes that because you get really good at doing one thing, that you could just jump right in.
Yeah.
So if you're really good at kickboxing, you should be super good at yoga. But no, not at all. Like if you're weight training and you're lifting 500-pound deadlifts, your lower back is not going to flex anywhere. It's been training to not do that, which is great proof to me about training methods. It's like train for the way you want to, feel, look, move, and then mix it up a little bit. And I try to do that in my classes as much as will allow. Natural movements, where that complete idea is being attacked from a whole different angle. And I follow these attacks. 120 beats per minute. Do it the same every time. So it can be really, people are teaching striking completely different than the way especially in my class, I would imagine. Yeah.
So do you mean, just so I'm clear, so there's there's a rigorous structure that some people are
This is what
enforcing?
happens. The marketers in this country, especially in fitness, because it's one of the most it doesn't need to be regulated. I like that it's not. It's one of the most competitive markets, and it's like fashion. It moves, right? So you have a constant drive by marketers. Tony Little, who came up with the beats per minute. So he markets that in infomercials. This is 120 beats per minute. Why he just is putting that for no reason really. And then all of a sudden the institutions start to take that as, look, there's a study and that seemed to be correct. Now that's being taught in the certification classes. Now I don't teach 120 beats per minute.
Wow.
Because it doesn't make sense to me, based on, depending on everybody in class. It's too big of a variety, but it's standardized, so they like that. But really the real teaching difference, you come from the Japanese style, where I made the huge mistake of discounting the Japanese style, the Korean style, the way they teach it, which was a gigantic mistake, because they put themselves up in striking as the master. I'm the sensei, guys. I'm the guy. You don't even touch me. I can knock you over with
You're the chef.
I'm the chef. So that helps in a lot of ways, where you're just going to have blind faith in me. So if I'm like, you can do this, that's going to be more effective than possibly the way I do it now. It's going to be a whole lot less work. But at the time, karate had gotten so corrupted, in my opinion, based on what they had to do. They had to sell it.
Yeah.
So we got away from karate completely. We got away from Japanese style striking for a
I
while.
used to watch more Korean drama.
That's why you gotta watch pasta, man.
Oh God, this is
You wanted to reach an international crowd, right?
You're right. I love South Koreans. I have a South Korean friend on Facebook that's basically, if you look at him, he's me as Korean. Whoever came up with multiple universes, and he's right now filming in Korea. And look at his Facebook page. I think it's Shuang Wang, I believe is how you say it.
Xinhua, that's the school.
That's a school.
Anyway, how did I even get to that?
Because you were saying that you
Koreans,
expect
yes. So Koreans
style.
love me right now.
Yeah, but you hate Korean television, so we're just telling you.
Koreans
that you should.
have a lot to learn on television, guys. Why are you making a show called Pasta? That literally nothing happens. They made a show.
Mike, you have not given it a chance,
No.
man. You've only
I hate
made
Gordon
fun of
Ramsay.
us.
Okay, they
I
like
almost
Gordon
cried
Ramsay
in
so
the last
much.
episode. It was so
You don't
good.
need to bring up that's the ratcheting. I'm saying the Japanese, the Koreans in martial arts go to this ratcheted pace where they are dressing people down because you walk in the room. You didn't even do anything. I'm here for work, and on time. I'm 15 minutes for work, and it's like, what? You didn't even think about bringing me, a water or a bow on your head. So this show they're watching, it's hours of it. Them yelling. This guy
Kristen is so good.
It's so good.
it's called Pasta. And no offense, guys, if you like it there, the thing is, it's so slow.
Korean soap operas.
It's
I've seen that.
Thank you.
Hilarious.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Korean soap
I
operas.
have to
Anyway,
confess.
Thank you.
I have to confess.
Michael and Julie just got shut down, brother.
everybody wants Korean soap operas.
if I challenge you, the viewers, if you like pasta, if you can watch the whole, what do you guys want me to do? That would be repaying them. If more people put we can't put a dislike on this, but if you comment and you give me a logical reason why I would enjoy pasta or why you enjoy pasta, couple lines, I will do something extremely embarrassing if you want.
Cue in our sponsor.
Cue my sponsor. Our sponsor. Sometimes, this is in programming, so it'd be just like natural talking. I was in yoga class actually the other day, and one of the instructors came up and she looked at my forearms, and this is a true story. She was like, "Wow, you don't have any hair. You're so smooth." And I was like, "Yeah." She's like, "I can't believe your neck, everything is so smooth." It's like, and she's like, "I'm dating this guy, and he's just hairy all over, and it's gross." And it's like, I would really be into this guy, and like he would be somebody I would look at, like really putting him on a pedestal. But he's just covered in hair. It's like it's in a drain. It's all over the place. And then I said, "Listen, sometimes you need to get right down to. Sometimes you need to go to bear. Sometimes you want to bear."
No, actually, you do not want a bear.
Sometimes,
If you're gonna bear, you want
You
to
gotta get
bear.
rid of the bear to be bear.
you got to get rid of the bear
Thank you.
to be the bear.
There you go.
Is that going to be a good 30 seconds? All right, back to the show. And don't forget that is salon quality, guys. And it's got 16 different wax strips, 8 reversible sides, so you can be more economical. It has pain-free, literally, this will give you pleasure when you do it, so it's anti-pain. So we're going the other way. It's going to give you pleasure. It has different opiates in it.
I'll take a box.
So, okay, right there, one easy step. That's it. If so, back to the pasta. If you guys want, what I'll do is, I don't have a lot of hair, obviously, but I will do this live with a welder's mask on at the next one. How about that? Good?
No.
That's not good?
We'll think about something.
Okay. Because that'll be bad for sponsorship.
I think so.
And it's not that I want to use it. I haven't used it.
We will lose our only sponsor.
Listen, but the thing is, guys,
Actually, I don't have to jump on board.
Bear for Men, they're good. They're reaching out early on, Kristen, and people are getting on this. Guess what? When we're like Joe Rogan, and I'm not even going to mention, and not that it should be anything, but they grew on a product that seemingly wasn't fashionable at the time, and they grew. The podcast became huge, and guess what? That first sponsor, that Bear for Men sponsor, we're going to use that, and they're going to be humongous because of us.
No.
It's huge. I mean, if you think about this, the thing about working out, guys, so, I'm sorry, Kristen, this stuff is a fantastic product, first off. If you think you work out, everybody works out. They want to look good. They listen to bodybuilders. They take the diet pills, all of that. But when it comes down to, are you going to shave? Are you going to wax? Are you going to tan? If you don't do that, bodybuilders, there's not a single hair on their body. Why? Because it changes the way the light hits you, okay? You might be ripped right now. And if you use Bear for Men, you would find out you might be shredded. You could have a six-pack right now. And I've seen this before. There's a couple of my clients, they looked out of shape. And all it was like a couple layers of hair was pushing up the shirt. I'm dead serious. It was pushing it up. So what do? I said, I know this
Kristen's
amazing
face is
product.
priceless.
I'm just picturing so much hair that is puffing out so much shirt.
See, you guys think it's funny, and guys, I'm talking to you really because I'm saying this from a heartfelt place. God has not blessed me with a full head of hair. Okay, it's going thin. I'm looking at my father, who looks like Lieutenant Sipowicz from NYPD Blue, so I'm a little scared. But he hasn't made me that hairy, and I know some guys that are super hairy, and you can't shave that. It's gross. Okay. But what you could do is keep it tight with Bear for Men. Okay, we're talking about painless, simple. We're just cleaning it up, boom, boom, boom. You're out on the town, and that's going to help you in a lot of different ways. So you can laugh it, you can poo-poo at it, guys, but this stuff is the real deal. Okay, Jordan Peterson uses this.
Roadhouse.
Roadhouse.
Remember. Bear for men. Pain don't hurt. That's from Roadhouse, guys. You guys haven't even Roadhouse. You guys haven't even seen it. You just quote it.
The Swayze movie?
Like, did
Yeah,
you?
Swayze's like, pain don't hurt. What are you talking about?
Oh my god.
I love that. I really miss Patrick Swayze too.
Swayze going crazy.
I was so tough, pancreatic cancer. And I just watched the Steve. I'm getting fired up because this Saturday is the Chinese New Year. Is it? It's exactly this Saturday.
It's actually Friday, tomorrow.
Friday.
Yes.
So talk to me about it.
This Chinese New Year is, in the Chinese astrology, there's this 12-year cycle of animals, kind of like Western astrology, and each animal represents a particular kind of energy and a particular type of nature of the year. So this coming year is what's called the horse year. So if you think about the horse and what it represents, it's like it has tremendous initiative. It's like it's just galloping off into new vistas. And then on top of that, in Chinese astrology, there's also this thing called the elements. So there are 5 elements, and they correspond with the seasons. So not only is this a horse year, but it's also associated with the element of wood, which is wood is spring. It's renewal, rebirth, new vision, new life. So you've got all this new vision coupled with tremendous initiative and power to just take off. So they're
I could tap into this.
Absolutely. Yeah.
That's good. That's so much better than what calendar do we follow in here? Like the Roman calendar or something? Who set this?
I don't know. Me and Adrian check
The
our
Gregorian
Chinese
calendar.
Yeah,
horoscopes every day,
calendar,
though.
What is Gregorian? Was that an empire or
The Gregorian.
It's chants?
Who are the Gregorian?
the chants and calendars?
It was, I think, the Byzantines
Yeah,
that
the
then
Byzantines.
became
The Gregorians, yeah, after the Romans.
Yeah, I used to be so good. I'd do that in church, the same part. Seriously,
You were an altar boy?
I was an altar boy, but I went to church almost every day at Hudson Catholic, and I would be at the front and I would do Amen, Amen. I'd do with the hands like this. I swear, the priest was doing it, and I was in the front, and I just thought everybody was doing it. I looked around, I was like,
You were the only one doing it. Wait, we have video of that, don't we?
yeah, that's old stuff. Yeah, we could. That would be embarrassing. If you guys write pasta, I'll release. I actually know one of the most embarrassing things. So if this doesn't get, if we don't get at least 15 comments, I'll show this. But Mike Pedicic has a video, and all I'll say is geisha, and that's all you're gonna
You
hear.
would show that
I
publicly?
will show that publicly.
Wow.
But this has to be honest, and it ties into pasta anyway. If you have to put a good reason to watch pasta, there has to be some type of good reason, and it's not because they're making good pasta that you want to eat. It does look okay, but
Mike, they're teaching you how to make the fucking pasta.
they're talking about pasta like you need to be an engineer. This is the easiest. What are you talking about?
Kristen.
So they
well,
actually
mind
make
you,
pasta on
mind
the
you,
show.
he's guilty
No, no.
because he's listening to it. He's actually
Listen,
paying attention.
But he's
there's
not reading the
no.
subtitles, so he can just hear
the
it.
real pasta makers in China and Japan, where they're stringing it out. You ever see
Korea.
that? Korea. But no, they're taking Ronzoni. They're taking pizza Italia.
It's about
That's
an
not- you
Italian
can't do that.
restaurant that opens up in Korea
Seriously?
and hires all Koreans.
This
to
is what
work.
I'm scared of with the Koreans.
That's why it's hilarious.
I want to talk to the Koreans because right now what you guys got to understand is Korea, technology-wise, the fastest Wi-Fi, right? They have their technology's tight. They're smart about this, but they are mimicking a lot of the American ideas and they are just stupid ass ideas. That's wearing shirts and ties, wearing 3-piece suits all the time, yelling at people like they're watching Gordon Ramsay. They're like, okay, let's start yelling at people.
Like the
some
chef.
more. Let's not do
Yes,
that.
chef.
We're supposed to be zen. But big things. South Korea is a huge partner with us right now. Like I feel that's a great spot for this video to be in. I like South Korea. I like North Korea. I like all the Koreas. I hope, that's got to be
Dennis
And-
Rodman's taking care of that.
Dennis
for us.
Rodman.
Chicken
Did
Factory.
you see
What are you
that?
talking about?
Dennis Rodman, Vice TV. If anybody at home
Dennis
hasn't seen
Rodman.
Vice, Vice is amazing. They are amazing. They started out maybe 2 or 3 guys in Canada. The national government sponsors your magazine. It was called Voice, and then somebody else was called Voice, so they chopped off the O and made it Vice. And they go to the most dangerous parts of the world and show you really what's happening.
Really?
They go to North Korea 3 times. So they have to fool North Korea to let them back in, because after they're not supposed to. You shoot a video in North Korea that's not sanctioned. You're probably never going to come back again.
Yeah.
And they show this whole process. The North Koreans take them on a tour to like restaurants and stuff, and there's nobody in there because it's a state-run tour. Coincidentally, it wasn't as bad as some of the other countries that I saw. Not Liberia looks about 1 billion times worse. Okay, you don't want to trust me. You'll move to North Korea real quick if you live in Liberia. Anyway, so they sneak in by using Dennis Rodman. Why? Because they love basketball and they love the Chicago Bulls, and Michael Jordan wasn't gonna go, so they get Dennis Rodman.
So they call
The whole world
Dennis
charters,
Rodman.
and they sneak
He'll be
back into
down.
the country with them.
Oh my God.
And then Kim Jong-il really likes Dennis Rodman and brings him back. I also heard that he had his uncle eaten by dogs in front of the entire ministry, like 2 weeks after that.
Wild pigs.
In celebration of Dennis Rodman's visit.
Yeah, just that. He was crazy because he was actually making speeches. He could have easily said something wrong.
Yeah.
And what's crazy is they have to keep clapping. So
Regardless.
they're just the first person that stops clapping is in some severe trouble.
Wow.
But their presentations are amazing. I don't know if you've seen like their dance, their kids.
Oh yeah.
Are
If it's
very
anything
good.
like the Chinese acrobats, they're incredible. Yeah.
I don't know what's going to happen there. China cannot, I know we're going political, guys, but some people like this. China cannot allow us to be friends with North Korea. It would be not good. This is old thinking. It wouldn't be a problem, really. It would be fantastic. But we would have too much influence on their border, I think. But Chinese New Year, growth, the horse. I want to do that. I want to have things in my calendar that give me fire. Give me just mental energy, words to me. You saying words to me, Kristen, when I listen to your podcast, that makes me feel energized. It lets thoughts, it lets visions start to be created. It gives you something to work off of. So this Saturday, and this is something you've done incredibly well, and I don't want to take credit for it. No, I'm just kidding. I feel like a bunch of the reboot campers, if not all of them, in their own ways, are pushing it, like whatever that means to them, to different levels past what I at first anticipated at all. Like Mona is pushing it to the limit. Like,
Yeah.
She started the cult to get that house there. I can imagine it's going to be like the Garden of Eden. Beautiful. You are podcasting at least twice a week. What's up, guys? What's up, funny? Hey, turn that camera on these guys. I'm going to come over there. Turn them on. I'm saying important things, guys. Words that are being caught by cameras. This is...
I know, but Alex needs us to order the pig for
I gotta
Sunday.
take care of business. I gotta call my
Hold on.
peoples.
Okay, hold on.
My Colombian butcher.
Wait, do you have a second?
Yeah.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, Kristen.
No. You were
Viewers
the one
are-
talking to me.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, Mike. Hold on. Alex, can we get him on the line? We really need a Skype or a FaceTime, like, to have guests in here. Because there's a lot of people...
Yes.
Yeah. There's a lot of people that we could probably get together.
Absolutely.
Who could you get?
I don't know what kind of guests do you want.
It doesn't matter. That's the thing. If I can't call Alex on my phone for some... If you want to call him. You're telling
You
me...
really want me to call him?
Yeah. It's at the gym. Can I pick the box up later? It's
No,
a big...
he needs Adrian to
Guys...
use his Spanish to call the butcher
Okay.
to get the pig.
No problem. All right, we'll wrap this segment up. Give me 5 seconds. Hi, guys. Mike Andreula here. Sometimes, if you don't take care of yourself, and it's like, you're married to Devin, right? And Devin uses Bear for Men. It's a sponsor. Maybe that's a sponsor. But you see Devin. You can see the striations on his back when he's toweling off after doing some push-ups or something. You could see the cuts, the striations. What I'm saying is 2014, guys. We are going to be hairless in the future. Is that not true?
Evolutionary, probably.
Right?
Yeah.
We're going to be hairless. Just get it going now.
beat out evolution.
Back to it. So this Saturday, let's really bring this down. Like this is another clip. So guys, do you want to get in closer? I'm just saying forward. Take a deep breath in. This Saturday, what are we doing, Kristen?
We are having a launch and Chinese New Year party, and it's called This Is the Year.
This is the year.
Yeah.
Graphic will be going like that as you talk. Keep going.
So This Is the Year. It's based in this Chinese New Year, which is about new beginnings and all the power behind that, the initiative, what fires you up. And we're going to have inspirational speakers, including yourself, as one of our special guests. And we're all going to be talking about how to capitalize on this. So this is a year beyond anything you can imagine.
To make it happen. I've been thinking about it a lot. I think getting the people in the area, getting the energy together, making time, and people just come in from the public or?
Yes, people do need to register on our website though, because we do have a limited number of spots, and at ZenSpaceStudios.com, because there's actually only a few spots. We're capping it because we've gotten such a huge response already.
All right, so let's do it, guys. And that starts at what time?
Starts at 4 o'clock on Saturday from 4 till 7 at our studios.
What's the website?
The website is ZenSpaceStudios.com.
ZenSpaceStudios.com.
Kristen, where are the studios at?
The studios are at 457th Street, which is the corner of Adams.
Don't just try to show up, because you need to pre-register. I don't need any maniacs. That guy that texted my class there. But no, what am I going to be talking about? Pumping people up. Positive energy, green energy. Possibly, let's all not only just get out there, kick ass, but that is going to help not only you out, but the people at your clients you're working with, your community. And we have to, like you tying this back in earlier, look at that, Mike. You're tying this, paying it forward. It's the butterfly effect. It's the ripple effect. And I love it. I need to do that. I need to push like that. So I'm extremely happy. We're going to record it, or
Yeah, right.
maybe people in Korea. Remember, guys, if you want that pasta, watch the pasta show, and then I will wear. No, I won't tell you exactly what the video is, but it's unbelievable. I probably will be fired, and
It's a great video.
It better be good, man.
It's good.
We need some redeeming there.
trust me, I would not. And honestly, I hype a lot of stuff. I hype a lot of stuff, Kristen. But when you, like Reboot Camp, it's hype beyond belief. But what did you?
I just had an idea.
But it was totally, it really
Mike.
was, it lived up to its expectations.
Yeah, so I was like, I mean, I was promising the world, but honestly, it will deliver that just because of the people. What's up, Adrian?
I just had an idea.
Hit me.
You know who we should get in here? Somebody from Chicken Factory.
Oh,
That would be perfect.
Bro.
and show him pasta, and he'll tell me this is the worst. He'd be like, this is why I left Korea.
No, he'll tell us the secret to making delicious chicken.
No, they'll never divulge his secret.
Yes, they would.
No.
Chicken Factory.
They'll show us how to make pasta first.
Yeah. If you want to. Great food. Highly recommend it. I don't think it's that healthy for you.
Where's this one?
Cheat day. It's on Washington Street. I like the color scheme. It's
Mike's
red.
been wanting to go there for
Yeah.
since it opened. I wouldn't.
The place downtown?
I mean-
like the purple. Yeah. No.
Not Cluck You.
this is-
Oh, this is something else.
Chicken
Okay.
Factory's orange and white, and it's near.
It's on
Fifth.
5th.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
5th.
Okay.
6th.
This is gonna get the vegan audience really mad. Thinking Jeff right now. He's gonna be so mad.
You can order kimchi instead of
That's
chicken.
what I was going to say.
Well, the thing is, you don't want factory farms. You don't want factory chickens. You don't want chickens. You see the films.
Yeah, so you don't want to name
So,
your restaurant Chicken
They come from
Factory.
South Korea. They just name it Chicken Factory. It sounds like, what are you doing? That's the worst possible name for something that's
Right.
people. I don't want chickens in a factory. That's the last thing I want. But it's just a factory in that they produce amazing chicken, like a factory. Period. If you want that chicken, it's being produced.
They
You
should
don't
call
get
it
to see anything.
Chicken Heaven, right, Adrian?
Chicken heaven.
Chicken Heaven.
Or pasta.
Possibly. Kristen, any parting words for the viewers? Little snippets you want to throw in there?
This is your year, regardless of whatever your perspective is. Yeah, seize it. It's yours.
Just make it happen, guys. And if you want, can he Facebook you or Twitter? Or
Absolutely.
Facebook?
Yeah, you can follow us on Twitter. That's Zen Touch as the Twitter handle, and also on our Facebook page, Zen Space.
And you can always find me on michaelandrula.com. On Mikey is my friend on YouTube, Michael Kickboxing something, Michael at CKO Trainer, Mike, my heavy bag kickboxing workouts, Mike on a root boot camp. This is trying to be funny, guys. I have my stuff all over the place. MichaelAndreula.com would probably be the best place to get a sample of this. Was that the noise to cut me off? All right, guys, and right again, support our sponsors. Okay, Bear for Men. It's barely legal.
That's the Bear for Men.
Wax it down, bare minimal. Get a six-pack. Get some lighting from the side there to accentuate the abdominals. All right. Thank you, Kristen. That was fantastic, powerful. Fade to black, guys.
Oh wait, fade to black first.
Fade to black.
Good to know.
Woohoo! Fade to black again.
Thank you.
We have some good stuff.
Yeah,
That was
cool.
That was a
black.
It was really
Next
good.
time.
Straight
Right.